Okay, this next album definitely took the pop world by storm. And when I heard it earlier this year, it came out in March. I liked it, but I didn't love all of it. Maybe I wasn't in the right headspace to listen to it. But as some of the songs got more popular and I started to hear them more, and again, like this artist was an artist I wanted to listen to. It wasn't just like her popularity. Well, I just gave away the gender, but so you know that this artist is a woman. Her popularity had nothing to do with it. I was very interested in her as an artist, and I'm talking, of course, about Billie Eilish and her debut album, When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? So great. I'm glad an album like this is popular. And what's crazy about Billie Eilish, she's only 17 years old. She's going to turn 18 in like a week. And her and her brother put together a fantastic album. Again, that's another example of artists that work with like a select few of people for one album. I'm not saying for your whole career, but just for one album, stick with a handful of people. So you're not so cluttered with too many different contrasting views. You know what I mean? You have a set, one person to bounce off ideas, not too cluttered. You know what I mean? Not that working with a lot of people is a bad thing. I'm just saying I love when like one artist gets one producer or one engineer or whatever, and they just kind of make magic together. You know what I mean? Because me as an individual, I work better in situations where there's a small group, 2 or 3 or 4 people. I can't do large groups. That's just me as a human being. But Billie Eilish, wow. Lots of creative soundscapes here. Taking pop music to another world. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to act like a certain way or sound a certain way. You know what I mean? I think she's cut from the cloth of like Lorde. Because when she put her first album out early this decade, it was unlike any other pop album I heard. And that was the first full-length album that I bought from iTunes. And I never bought an album from iTunes up until then. I buy them, at the time I bought physical albums. I still buy physical albums, but at the time I just bought CDs. And I had an iTunes gift card. I'm like, fuck it, let me just buy the Pure Heroine. I think the deluxe edition was only on iTunes, but she later, I think, released it physically. And really beautiful stuff there. And Lorde was definitely, against the grain. There was nothing like her that was out that year in the pop world. And Billie Eilish is no exception. Very inspired by a lot of, hip hop song structure. I'm not going to say like, oh yeah, she's just like, if she had Denzel Curry or Vince Staples, well, she worked with Vince Staples in the past. If she had someone like Denzel Curry come and rap over a track, it would fit. It would fit. Like, she's that like unique. And I can't wait to see what she's going to do next. Like songs like Bad Guy. Oh, man. So wonderfully put together. I love it. And she has a beautiful voice. And how she uses harmonies on this album is wonderful. It's very spooky and sharp, and it just grabs your attention. Please do not sleep on Billie Eilish. She's the hottest thing right now. And she got nominated for a bunch of Grammys. Well deserved. But don't sleep on her. And it'll make you rethink how you view pop music. And you know what? I hope she goes in the Lorde direction and doesn't rush to put out a next album. Nope. Take a year, 2 years, and kind of take time to create something that's really going to stick. Because there's nothing wrong with dropping an album every year if the album that you put out yearly is good. If she comes out in 2020 with another heater, great. But, if you take time to create something interesting and kind of relax and unwind, because I'm sure she's exhausted from touring and all these interviews and what have you, definitely take time to make another album. And I also want to add that Billie Eilish, like, her image is not her perception or her image is not very sexualized at all. She wears baggy clothing, and it just shows you that that's not why you should pay attention to her. She's not out for attention. If she's going to make headlines, it's because of how good her music is. I love it. Billie Eilish is about one thing, the music. You know what I mean? She can definitely be a role model to young girls. That you don't have to be sexy to grab attention. especially during, you know, this era of social media and, you know, an image and all, especially with women, that everyone's trying to compete with each other. You know what I mean? Oh, this person posted this sexy picture of themselves. I'm gonna outdo them by posting an even sexier picture. I'm not sure if that's what, you know, young women are thinking, because I don't know what young women are thinking, because I'm not a young woman. But you know, there's a lot of people online that kind of want to compete with people. You know, they see how people look. Oh, they're so pretty. Why can't I be that pretty? But Billie Eilish is like, you know, her music is just, I'm just about the music. It's not about how sexy I am. But there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, certain artists using their sexuality. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But I just care about the music. I don't care how you look like. I don't care about your image. I care about the music you make. That's it, period. So definitely go give Billie Eilish a listen.